Hello, everyone. Welcome to the penultimate episode of Gloves Off, where we're focused on Ultimate Summit, which was, if you didn't know Ultimate Summit, we've been talking about it probably the past four episodes now. And Koopa, we even have a very special guest. Well, he's a special guest, but obviously a good friend of ours who's actually at Ultimate Summit. I still think shaking off some of the tiredness.
Yeah, what's his name again? He was the I
Yeah,
think he was the mayor of the town that got pillaged at
Oh,
Oh,
dude.
dude, yeah, I
Mafia.
heard
Oh,
super
dude.
irresponsible
That game,
mayor. I heard all about
that
that.
game, that game was wild. That was wild. I could definitely go more. God, I have so much to say about
Why don't,
Summit
dude,
overall.
just go for it, man.
And
By the way,
Mafia
hi
in general.
guys. It's Hazmatt.
Yeah. I know it's funny because Chris is like, well, we have a special guest, and he's like, well, it's actually, and I was like, okay, he's gonna say it's not a special guest. It's just like a normal
Nah, dude,
guest,
I had to watch my words on that for a second. Like, yeah, I sort of like faked you out. Like, it sounded like I might do that, but then like in reality, I'm just like, yo, he's still a special guest though.
Facts. I appreciate that.
See the way that the tiers go is that there's only one hashtag friend of the podcast, and that's Rickles. But you guys are like podcast family.
That's true. Yeah, Devin's here too, by the way, and Devin's definitely a podcast fan, dude. Getting all the back end info from Devin.
Whatever tier Rickles is in, that's who I want to be. Choke Mafia. Okay, listen, this is already happening, dude. So, all right,
Defend yourself.
let me give you a rundown of that day we played Mafia. So it had so the way the days kind of go there, like you show up like we showed up at 10 or some shit. Everyone else got there a little bit earlier than us. They had shuttles running the whole time. So if you needed like a ride from the hotel was like maybe like a 7-minute drive from the summit venue. And so if you needed a ride, like you would just get a shuttle. And so basically at 10 a.m. we get a shuttle and we go there. They serve us lunch and then they serve us dinner and then you start drinking. And like that's just kind of how it goes. You know, if you're 21, obviously, like it just is an option that's available and one that was responsibly partaken in by yours truly. And on that day, especially since it was the last day, I had started a little earlier. So I was like, I want to play Summit. I watch Summit every year. King, you're killing me, bro. The thing is, I watch Summit Mafia every year. I was gonna say Werewolf. I was like,
Potato, pretty much.
I got right, exactly. I want to play so bad, like it's gonna be so fun. And when I sit at home and I watch, I'm a genius at Mafia, like everybody else, because you could just read the roles, or you can just. But being there and having to be on, dude, and I was seriously like, I don't get nervous in front of like cameras or like on microphones anymore. But there's something about like internally built up in my soul about Mafia at Summit, and I'd been drinking, so I was crazy nervous. So I was like, I want to play Mafia so bad, it's gonna be so sick. But I didn't like consider the possibility that I would be Mafia the first time that I played. Like I was seriously like surprised by it. Like I was not ready to sit there and lie to people I had just met and who don't know me that well and that wouldn't know my playing style anyway. You know what I'm saying?
So let me ask you a question about this since you're in a room of so Summit has been the first Ultimate Summit has been the first case where we've now seen melee personalities, which are obviously legendary tier, and then we've seen the personalities that have gone through Smash 4, Brawl, all that kind of stuff, like kind of combined in one room, right? So then
Yeah.
you're put in a situation where, like you said, you're one of three people who now has to lie to this like weird like melee cross Smash 4 like room.
Yeah.
Granted, it was the last day, but like what was like that whole what was like the energy like with all that? There was definitely a lot of
Dude,
clashing personalities.
dude, for the melee, so the melee guys were obviously the veterans. They've had like what, 4 summits, 4 or 5, maybe more, maybe more, dude.
Maybe 7. I don't know. There's been a lot.
Dude, it's been a lot. But you,
I think. So
Yeah, 8's the next one, so there's been at least 7.
oh yeah, so 7, yeah, Jesus. Not to mention this one that a lot of them was just dope. Initially,
Yeah.
honestly, I was feeling kind of conflicted. Like this is supposed to be the ultimate, summit. Like I think a lot of people felt this way, where they were like, yo, melee players kind of, you know, they're not, taking it as seriously, or do they really deserve a spot? These should be like, especially like around Tweak, right? Like everyone was really, and myself included, very bummed that Tweak wasn't there and participating. But like by the end of like seriously maybe the first couple hours there, I was like, these melee guys are A, hilarious, B, really good at the game. Like I played a ton of them at Smash Ultimate, and C, like super good. I don't know, man. Like they were just a fun and good time to be around, and they took things very seriously. Like when people were asking questions about the game and about matchups, it was mostly the melee players. And I think actually TK had a tweet where he was like, was it Leffen who said? It must have been Leffen, dude, who said like Smash 4 players don't work hard enough. That was him, right?
Oh,
Like, that was, like,
really? Dude,
yeah,
Leffen said a lot of stuff over the
He's
weekend.
got opinions. Dude,
He's
the
got
thing about
opinions, yeah.
I love
I
Leffen.
kind of agree.
Yeah, I know, dude.
Yeah,
That's
I don't
always
think it's
the
a
thing
wrong
with him.
opinion, but like, yeah, it's
I'm glad that someone says it.
TK
Yeah,
took
right.
a picture on the last day of Summit when it was all of us playing Mafia. Over in the corner on all the setups were all the melee players still playing, and like all the Smash 4 players were goofing around, playing Mafia and stuff, which also like I don't blame them. They're also new to it. Like melee players have already played melee, so like I don't really think it's like a 100% true reflection of that one, statement, but like, and I feel like melee players are kind of over like the Mafia thing. I feel like it was a hard time to get those guys to play, but they grinded, dude. Like they grinded so hard, and I was very impressed by like how much a lot of them played and how much they really put. I thought initially like I was a little wary of like melee players and like, are they going to take Ultimate seriously, or is it going to be like Smash 4 where they'll play seriously for like like a month and then quit? Definitely doesn't seem like the case. Like I saw a lot of passion and a lot of care, for the game and for the scene. And honestly, their veteran status was much appreciated when it came to, I think, like everything all around like the summit. Like guys like Chillin and Vish, like they were just fun and easy-going to be around. Like I feel like I didn't really pay attention to commentary, to be honest with you, because I wasn't on it and I wasn't like watching at home. Like I would just watch, there were many TVs all around the venue, so I didn't really hear commentary, but just having like that veteran status was cool, and they just knew what they were doing, and like they just felt comfortable, and that added to like the like why I was nervous to play Mafia with them, because I've seen them all play Mafia before, and I just got nervous. Yeah, plus dude, the skits were pretty hilarious too. So
Oh man, these are some of my favorite like summit skits. Like Cooking with Sam was great. The Chillin's show was absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
Let's see all of them. I only saw the Pikmin one for Chillin', and that was incredible.
Oh my god. Yeah, let me
I
find that
literally
real quick.
like woke up from like a day-long nap. First thing I saw.
Dude,
You wake up and like you're in a fever dream or something like that.
Yeah, I'm like, Mango's a purple Pikmin. This is incredible. Like,
a fever dream.
it was cool because like I didn't really know a whole lot about some of the melee guys. I've seen them before, and actually I don't really think there's ever been a mix of people in the Smash community from those different communities cooperating that much ever. I don't really think that's been a thing.
Yeah, this is the first time we've seen like these personalities, and honestly, as someone who watched a lot of the weekends. Dude,
sorry, I'm watching the stream.
Yeah, dude,
my god.
Mango costumes are so unforgiving, dude.
They really are.
It's just not good.
Dude, just watching Mango like down the drink with just going all over himself is like one of the funniest things to me.
Dude, right.
But anyways, so it's like you could definitely tell the difference in personality like between like Melee and the guys from Smash 4. Like it is a totally different feel. And obviously it has to do with the age of the games. Like there's no doubt about that. It's actually really interesting to me that you pointed out, like, I actually didn't hear Leffen say that about, like, basically Smash 4 players being, like, lazy.
Yeah, yeah.
But, like, it is interesting, right? So it's like you have Melee guys who are now, like, in this very interesting point where they have to transition. Essentially, they just have to get good because it's, like, it's very clear that their legacy means something, and people are very, they gravitate towards it, but it's not enough to carry them as a career in the game. So it's like you're kind of seeing Leffen learn about the game, albeit with lots of opinions. Mango's definitely still doing lots of weird Mango things, like just like his like raw farts on Shield, like just like what I mean, like. But like in reality, though, it's like as you mentioned, it's very clear these guys are like trying to get better. I feel like this was the weekend to do it because the talent there was insane. Koopa was actually. We were talking about the people who went 0-4 in this bracket because I think it was, what was it, round robin?
It was,
so two people,
Yeah, so what they did was, they did Swiss brackets, which means a Swiss bracket is different than like a round robin bracket. A Swiss bracket basically pairs you up against somebody who has the same record as you. It's used actually more commonly in card games. in that format. It's basically just a better way to get more matches out of people and stuff like that. And the way that it's stacked out is that one person, because there's only 16 people, there's only like 2 waves of pools or something like that. There's only 2 pools.
Yeah.
And what you would do is that one person would win all 3 games. I think 2 people would win 1 set, and then somebody else would not win a set or something like that. And the 2 people that went, I'm going to be real, this is a little surprising because unfortunately somebody has to draw the shit end of the stick in these types of invitational formats.
Someone wins, someone loses always.
Yeah, and like that kind of speaks to how like stacked the talent pool is, because like I'm sure a lot of people were expecting guys like Armada and Plup to drown out, and they didn't. They did really well.
Yeah,
and,
for sure.
Unfortunately, it was Mango and ZD that drew the shit end of the stick this weekend, and that, like I said, it speaks to how deep this talent pool is. Because ZD literally last week beat Tweak, and he beat Zachary like at the beginning of the month. So this, I think that kind of speaks more to the format of Summit, because I think a lot of people don't understand. It's like, and Light kind of alluded to this on Twitter at the event, but an invitational format is very different to play in than in like a regular tournament setting. Because like there's players like I think this definitely benefited a player like Zachary, because Japanese tournaments are notorious for being very like you don't really show a lot of bias. There isn't a lot of cheering and all that stuff. So when you put a silent assassin like Zachary in a quiet room against somebody, naturally he's gonna play like the lights are out. And on the other hand, you get a player like Light, who's very he's the protagonist, and he'll be the first one to tell you that. So he's naturally gonna feed off of the crowd energy and stuff like that. And I guess, and he even said himself, he said that playing in that quiet room really affected him. It's a lot different to kind of lock it in at that type of situation.
How much money was on the line for this bracket? Because this was obviously just 16-man bracket and had more tension on it than any other tournament, really, because of the people involved, but it was very high stakes. And I think the most unique part about this is kind of like the mind game that this tournament kind of plays on you, right? So it's a 3-day event. You come in Friday, and all the events included like Squad Strike, there's Mafia, all these kind of off things, and then all of a sudden you have like the most try-hard bracket you could ever have. Right. Day 2, like later in the day in 3. Like that in itself is hard to adjust to with all the money on the line and everything else.
The singles prize pool was $52,000.
$52,000.
Yeah, so that's absolutely crazy. So also, that kind of plays into why
the difference between first and second was like $9,000.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, and that's what I was thinking too. And second and third was big too, because I remember the DeBuzz Samsora match where he went Rosa game 5 out of nowhere, and he was honestly at the friendly setups. He was talking about how much he hated he was like, she's so trash. Like, I won't even go Rosa against Mewtwo King, like as a joke. Like he was saying that, he was like, I'm never playing that game. And then he just did. Like, I don't have any idea where that came from. So and that was a lot of money on the line.
It's literally the week before. Yeah, I think it was it was when the Buzz in New York came to Platinum Star, but we were having a conversation with the Buzz, and he said he played approximately 7 hours of Rosalina. And that was enough for him to determine that this character is just not worth it. But, sometimes, sometimes you go to a diner and all you want is some chicken fingers and french fries.
And you beat Samsora, and you're just like, yeah.
Which is crazy, because Sam beat him earlier in the day. And there's that clip because I think one of my favorite parts about this event, and we can kind of go into like the pros and cons of what everybody thought about that, about the event in general. But one of my favorite things about it, and I hope it becomes like other majors try to adopt this, is having a hot mic like that close to the players.
Oh my god,
that was super funny.
Yeah, because like you see the Buzz asking for advice, and Sam is just putting him on the rocks and like not answering him, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's the type of like that's the shit that I love to drink. That tea is hot, man. Like to just like give somebody the cold shoulder like that when they're asking for advice. That's the killer's edge that I'm looking for in these types of events. Well, it showcases the personalities better, which is exactly what this is all been about. So,
speaking of which, I do have Leffen on the screen at the moment playing fellow melee vet Plup, and Leffen kind of made quick work of Plup, which I guess isn't all too surprising. Leffen been on like a very serious grind with Pokemon Trainer in particular, and one of the things that really stuck out to me, and one of the things that I'm just like, man, as much of a veteran Leffen is, he's still sort of like a new player with regard to like I don't know, his game obviously plays a lot more like Smash 4 than Melee, so like new player in that regard. But it's funny, right? So we're talking about how cutthroat the competition could be, and I think one of the comments Leffen made, it was right after this set that's on the screen against Plup. He goes, I didn't want to basically cheese Plup with the matchup like playing Squirtle. And I just thought that was so like interesting. Like where cheesing is even a concern because after like a whole iteration of a game after DLC with Smash 4, we saw like quote unquote cheesing with like Bayonetta and Cloud, where everyone just kind of got so right. The whole game was cheese, man. Like extra cheese, 3 cheese, whatever. So it's like I'm just seeing that mentality. These guys actually really thinking about it with characters that are honestly pretty honest. I mean, one could make the argument that like Ivysaur's like Dare and like Up Air are obviously broken, but for the most part, like I don't really know if I'd call it cheesing, but like it was a legitimate concern that Leffen had about like cheesing his
I think it's a pretty funny thing of like the differences in the communities from like the original like split from Brawl was that like the Brawl community had to deal with 2 fronts being like, if you want to win, you have this character that is a little bit lopsided in their favor, to put it lightly.
Right.
And then you also had the other front of like people outside the game, like being pretty disrespectful to the people who want to put an effort into that. So it creates this stigma and this attitude where you're just like, well, I'm going to do it. I'm going to play and I'm going to play to win. And like where that the way like goes a little differently is just like, I would say probably the impression for like most of the Melee community is just like, you can play to win, but you can also still play to win while being fucking sick,
Yeah.
So
that's
true.
Like
that's a really good point. Yeah,
the Brawl community is what grew into the Smash 4 community, and then so on and so forth. Like even though like there's a lot of newcomers who came to Smash 4 because Smash 4 was actually huge, relatively, right? The next step, it's huge relatively, but like the overall like the vein of players are in that. So there's this play to win mentality where you're just like, yeah, no, it doesn't matter. And so like I could see like some Melee players just like the different attitude where it's just like, yeah, I'm gonna try and beat you in like a cool way because I can.
You know what? I feel like it's all that anger saved up over like Hungrybox picking Jigglypuff for all these years.
I was gonna say this definitely
There's
sounds
that
consistent is like, yeah, because HBox gets a lot of hate because his character is like quote unquote lame when all the other top tiers in the game are so cool. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like I didn't hear Leffen say that, but that's a very, very interesting thing, especially considering the prize that's on the line.
Oh, definitely.
I think a part of it is respect to Plup too. Like he's just like, I don't want to be lame to someone that I really respect as a competitor in 2 different games. So I don't, and they're probably friends too, I would guess, like, or at least have some
I would
respect
think
for each
so.
other. So I think that's a part of it too. Like maybe, like if he was fighting Zero, I bet you would have cheesed the hell out of him, not even cared twice. You know what I'm saying? Like he would have just done it. Like,
So now that
I mean, there's also that just the ability of just thinking about like they're coming from like a different background, so it's like a different sort of thing. But like, are you really friends if you're not timing each other out?
like a brotherhood. Well, I kind of agree. I think like I mean,
I'm kind of joking on the last part, but like, yeah.
Yeah, about like cheesiness and stuff, it's like if you don't do it to other people or like if you don't do it to your friends, someone else is going to, you know what I mean? Like if you don't that's like a part of the meta. Like if there's something that's lame for a matchup or for characters, like if you don't get hit by it, like by someone you know and who cares about you, someone you don't like or someone who you don't know is going to do it to you anyway.
Yeah. No, if you have that ice climber friend in Brawl, you're like, bro, chain grab me.
Yep.
Kill me, all right? Hobble me, wobble me, all right? Like there's no in between here. Ice lock me across the stage and then re-grab me and then ice lock me across the stage again, all right? Put me through the ringer.
Yeah, I think like Brawl people have definitely become immune to stuff like that, especially with everyone obviously picking up like Meta Knight through that lifespan and then seeing something sort of similar with Bayonetta, like sort of like they've sort of been seasoned for it, so to speak. And then
I say that like the people who are kind of like haters of Hungrybox, I would say, like if you ask like people with more of a Brawl background, Smash 4 background, they'd be like, no, I like HBox.
Yeah, because like I was gonna say, like I like HBox, I think he's cool, but I've also haven't played against him on a big like stage where he did Jigglypuff stuff. So like, I get it.
There's a tweet that I saw from someone where they say that like when you're a new fish into the Smash scene, your favorite player is Hungrybox and your least favorite player is Leffen, and then when you get your foundation in the community, the roles are reversed.
That's really funny.
Yeah, but anyways, we actually brought up Zero earlier.
Yeah, I wanted to get on that. Yep.
That's kind of the big glaring thing here, because I think this is Zero's like second ever like Ultimate tournament, because he's made it clear that he doesn't have the drive to be the best player in the world anymore. He's just gonna play to enter, and my man's tied for dead last. And I was like, to be like, I can't say I'm surprised, because like
not dead last, because he won a set.
Well, I meant like he tied for last, because 13th is 13th. You know what I mean? Like,
oh, interesting. Oh, yeah, right.
The way the Swiss bracket works is
I see what you're
basically
saying. My bad.
Yeah.
So there was a time when obviously Zero was like the undefeated Smash 4 god, not dropping going tournaments, not dropping games, whatever. And then he's taken a long break, has become a streamer, really a bit of a personality, we could say at this point, and there was some of that personality flashed within Ultimate Summit throughout the production, which I'll get into in a second. But yeah, as far as competition goes, he even won the Nintendo Invitational, which kind of made everyone think, well, maybe he's still got some in the tank. But yeah, dude, other than that, pretty much what you would expect from someone who hasn't played the game much, playing against people who have been playing the game.
But the crazy part that I realize is that it's clear that Zero's kind of like a shell of what he was at his peak. That just kind of comes with not taking a game seriously in over a year. But there was instances because I look at his set against Leo as the perfect example. But there's still flashes of brilliance there where if he really put his nose to the grindstone, he could. I still think he could be the best player in the world. But there's motivational factors and the fact that he's making some pretty good money just being a streamer and all that fun stuff. Hence, there's that argument rearing its ugly head again, which we talked about in past episodes. Plug. But
so
that money,
and he's arguably the biggest Smash personality. I mean, if you go by raw numbers and stream data, I don't know if I could really say that objectively.
I think you can.
It's a weird thing
close.
Just because it's just you talk about total hours maybe, because
everyone knows him, dude.
He's been around for a long time.
And honestly, sorry, keep going, Devin. I have tangents.
Zero's been around for a really good amount of time. We knew about him in the brawl scene, but he was just at least from my point of view, he was one of the upper players, but you wouldn't think of him as only one of the top. Maybe you would near the end though, but I kind of quit at that point, so I dodged that.
Yeah, the lost days of
but when it comes to
dying.
People being in the scene and just being perpetually in the spotlight, the melee gods, whatever, right?
Right.
Quite a lot of viewership along them. But I would say if at the pace that Zero is going, he will be.
Well, I just don't think I think even just watching him flash some personality in between sets and stuff, just kind of doing goofy stuff, kind of taking advantage of the role of just Zero's obviously the biggest personality. I'm talking little things walking in front of cameras, kind of being what's the word I'm looking for? Kind of a goon on commentary, doing all the things that you would expect from someone who's kind of quote unquote owns. But without the gameplay this time around, which was it was a little strange to see. I mean, not surprising once again, but something that kind of makes you scratch your head in terms of okay, well now we've seen all the personalities meld and who's the actual biggest personality. I sort of think Leffen is sort of taking that torch if you guys want to get on that a bit, because Leffen did have a lot of stuff to say over the weekend, a lot of stuff.
Of course, yeah. He's got opinions, man, and the thing about Leffen opinions too, when I'm on Leffen's, I usually agree with Leffen for the record. I think we have a pretty good record of agreeing with each other. When you agree with him, he's the best person to ever have on your side in an argument. It's awesome. It's so good. When you disagree with him though, oh my god, dude.
Yeah, because he's aggressive.
He's aggressive.
Super aggressive, dude. And he's unwilling to budge too, which is great. Like I said, and I agree with him a lot of the times. So when he says something, I'm like, hell yeah, this guy rules. But when I disagree with him, I'm like, god damn it, this is too much.
Have you considered the counter argument?
You're oh man, now I gotta deal with this. Oh no.
Right, exactly. It's funny, yeah.
So I will say though, the Penguins are probably the most fun to watch in terms of personality wise. Gluttony's it's super
awesome,
nice
yeah.
guy. He's obviously like speaking of someone on the grind, dude. Anytime he would come on like the mic, the flash and personalities, is basically just talking about what he learned in the last set, which I thought was really
Yeah.
cool. Armada's hitting everyone up for advice. Leffen's basically just digging into anything he possibly can say.
Right. Yeah, it was really kind of bittersweet to see the players who got voted in do so well because New England did not succeed for the first time in a while. So it was like, man, I really would like to see my guy here and doing that. But it was so like, especially Gluttony. I know you don't say it like.
Gluttony.
Yeah, but he says it's not. Like I'm trying to.
Yeah, but then he says
I think
Tony.
it's
Tony Glue.
Glue Tony. Like glue and my cousin, right? Cousin Tony. Hey, Tony.
Tony's
Glue Tony.
Pizzeria.
But it was so
Hey,
good to see,
Glue Tony.
like,
I'm so upset.
truly like no player, especially the ones that were voted in, wasted their time there. They were always playing, they were always grinding. You could be like, ZD went 0-4. It's like, yeah, but ZD lost to like some of the most amazing players in the world. Like he's kind of like that too. I feel like he's kind of like hot and cold. Like you said, some days he's beating Tweak, other days, not so much that level. But I feel like he
People
learned
were
from
crap
that.
talking ZD, man. It was just like, how,
It's
guys? You
ridiculous.
really like he
It's a bunch of fucking morons in Twitch chat. Like it's not complicated. You know what I mean? Like they don't
Yeah.
consider the perspective and like what's going on. Like you said,
Yeah.
ZD, yeah, for whatever he did, he tied with 0. And are you saying 0's a bad player? Because they
he
like
tied with 0.
you know what I'm saying? And he's shit, right? And he's total shit. It's so ridiculous, man. That's sarcasm, by the way, obviously.
The thing about ZD is he probably shouldn't use Falco.
I did not like his character swaps. I did not like his character swaps. I agree with you. His Fox is so good, and Fox. I don't think he was playing any of Fox's terrible matchups. Oh, Falco does well against heavies though. Like he does, but
I guess I
also
could
think
see
Fox.
that. He's got a lot of hit
But Fox does
boxes.
fine against them. Trust me, I was sitting in the crowd listening to Larry and Light arguing about what he should have done. So I learned a ton of shit right here. Weirdly about Falco versus Bowser. Like why? I don't know.
It's strange.
Yeah,
That's when you know you're
that's
actually
very-
tired.
That's
But that's
very
like-
T-Door.
Yeah, look at that combo, dude. It was so sick. Sorry, we're probably a little behind here, but that combo that ZD had, like, I just think he just didn't win the set. Like Mewtwo King, that's the way Mewtwo King plays. Like especially in this game, it seems like he likes to just play heavies, be super read heavy, just get like 2 or 3, and like it's so the opposite of the way he plays melee, right? Like in melee, he just wants to chill, like play kind of passive. I guess actually it's not that different. I was gonna say, like
so
kind
Bowser
of
was
touch of death.
optimal. I think he would.
So how many characters
It's
did
a-
we see Mewtwo King use? Like a lot.
God,
There's like
Incineroar,
I saw him use.
Bowser,
I saw him. Yeah, like 3,
Mhm.
4.
Might be more than that.
It's-
to be
I
honest.
really think it's more than that. Like I swear, every time he was on
Incineroar.
stream, there was a different character there. Which
Incineroar, Wolf, and Bowser for sure.
You know what's like weird to me though is that Mewtwo King's gone on record saying that like he really gravitates towards sword characters, and then you watch him play Ultimate, and he's playing literally the exact opposite of what he
Right.
likes.
I don't know,
So,
man. Bowser's claws are pretty big. He's basically a sword character with armor.
So
a real tough guy.
Well, Mewtwo
So
King
I
playing
wanted to
the the player matchup. I was just noticing before you get going, just the Incineroar against Mango, which seems fitting.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually kind of funny that the like 3 out of the 5 melee guys had to play each other.
Dude, he's gone through. Mewtwo King's literally been around the longest and has gone through all the Smash games like legitimately. So I
Yeah.
could totally see him doing like the player matchup like pretty well. In fact, he was.
Smash Iron Man. Like
Yeah.
no one can take that away from him.
But
That's
what's
true.
it called? So I wanted to like transition to asking Matt some of the other stuff that happened while he was at Summit, because there's something that
Sure.
got asked this weekend. But before we do that, I do want to kind of break down the results a little bit finer. Obviously, Leo. I'm going to be real here. A lot of this top 8 was kind of hard for me to watch, and I'm going to tell you
Okay.
why. Because like I always say that the product always outweighs the pageanting of Summit, and it did. Like a lot of the earlier sets I think were really interesting, but I'm not a big fan of steamrolls. Like I'm looking at the bracket right now, and out of top 8s, only two of the games that were sets that were played were not 3-0s. So for me it's just like a little rough to watch somebody get like steamrolled for like 4 hours. But nonetheless, like that's just a me thing. I know other people kind of echoed that sentiment too on Twitter, but needless to say, the event was still a lot of fun to watch. Obviously, like Leo continuing to dominate, doing that whole play Ike in the early rounds and then play Lucina when it counts, and then obviously the buzz breaking out Rosalina, which nobody saw coming, and Zach Ray returning to form, after a rough performance at Frostbite, so people can kind of put to bed those rumors that he's not as good as he was. Because spoiler, he's a fucking assassin. So happy birthday to Zachary, by the way. It's his birthday today.
Nice.
Turned 7.
Yeah, I think so.
What's it? The Sweet 16? Is that where he's actually at?
Dude, he's awesome. By the way, that kid is gold. It's like the same thing like when like Smash 4 magically found both MKLeo and like Sam Sora too. It was like, man, like we're pretty lucky right now. Like these are such like great, like not just players but cool personalities that we picked up too. Especially Sam Sora, his personality obviously. And Leo for the way he plays the game. Leo was so exciting when we first found him too, because I feel like Smash 4 kind of at that point had reached like not stale storylines, but yeah, kind of stale storylines, and then it just was like there might be the secret killer who beat Mr. R and then DeBuzz, like because Leo first beat Mr. R and it was like, yeah, but Mr. R like it's like the meme, LOL Mr. R, yeah, that's how Locust got big too.
Yeah, exactly. He's the benchmark player.
Was the actual storyline of the fact that people were saying like, oh, MKLeo is like one of the better players, and he would actually like talk about it, like he's like, yeah, I could beat Zero, and then he did, and you're just like,
well,
yeah, it's actually pretty hype.
Yeah, he was super dope. But I'm saying Zachary, we're so lucky. He is like the cutest kid ever. Like the camera cut back to him, and I don't know if he like has a coach that tells him to like, I don't know, like just be like super cute, but like that's all. He's just smiling the whole time, man.
He's like, all right, buddy, in between sets, we're gonna need you to just.
Are you saying Zachary has a pageant mom?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. But the best part is, like, obviously I'm just kidding, but like it's so genuine, like the enjoyment he gets out of the game, and I love seeing that, man. Like it's so refreshing because like especially coming back like from Smash 4, where I feel like so many people were just so frustrated like with the game. Like even there, like I feel like he just lost, but he's still like, I don't know, man. I like Zachary. Like I feel like he's gonna be around for a long time, and he's a good one.
Well, there's a reason.
The future's bright.
I say there's a reason why these young guys. Reason why the young guys are getting the success that they are is all I'm gonna say. Because if you look at the top end of the bracket, it's mostly young, including like MKLeo, Zachary, and those guys, and it is honestly because they're having fun. So when you do kind of put all of the money on the line in a thing like an invitational, which is I think sort of something I'm curious about is. There was a little bit of controversy with the Invitational and all the money on the line and a whole lot of people not being involved. What do you guys think about that?
Repeat the question?
So, Invitational format, like yay or nay, as far as like...
I think it's... Okay, I think this is important because I forget who said this. It's a quote from... I think it's a quote from Daigo or like somebody who's like a Mount Rushmore FGC player, but like basically the quote I'm paraphrasing is you need to have tournaments standards like this where you pit your best against the best, because that's how you're really going to tell who's the strong and who will survive and who's really ahead of the game, et cetera, et cetera. Because like I said, the two formats are two completely different. I only have issues with the invitationals, like when there was that PAX invitational that counted towards the PGR, which wasn't like obviously like not fair because at that point it's a boys only club and whoever gets to go gets to reap the benefits of it. So like I'm not a fan of it when it regards to count towards rankings because that's just not fun and all inclusive. But I think this if we have like maybe like another one of these before the year's over, because I think Melee has like 1 or 2 summits a year or something like that.
I think it's 2, yeah.
Yeah, so I think it's very important. So we have these events.
I definitely can see Daigo's face chiseled into the side of a mountain. I definitely agree with that.
I would donate to that.
Like the face for that. Yeah, definitely.
That Kickstarter, yeah.
But I definitely also think that they're very important, like not only for the fact that like you want to see just like high level play, these opportunities where you can, it's just like, oh, these what if opportunities, and you like pit these people against each other and see their personalities at the same time, and like really creating a brand for all these players and something for people to tune into, and like it really like grows like of this niche, right? But there's also the fact that like like tournaments are the standard, so it's good to throw in something that's new. Like if there's like the fact that you do Swiss, right? We don't do Swiss at literally any tournament, because of obvious logistical reasons. But it's really nice to see all these different formats, because it's like if, like you can put all these situations, like Iron Man is awesome, Squad Strike is a new thing that we didn't know we kind of like a lot, and it's just like the more we're able to find time and find ways to spotlight standard, the more
Right.
interest you can grow in a scene, because you grow niches inside the niche, everything grows together, and that's period. Like it's perfect.
You got to
oh
build up what you got, and at this point, there's enough recognizable faces and personalities in the scene, like where again, this was the first time these guys all got together, and I would say the tournament was received very well, even despite some of the controversy early on with the invitational and who got in and why and yada yada yada. This was definitely a good first run, I thought.
I agree, and I think like every tournament, I don't care, how good it is. You guys know this. Like, not every tournament is perfect. Like, even if you get down to like the seating wasn't perfect. Like, this dude from this region had to play his friend from a very close by region. Like, there's just things that don't go perfectly in every tournament, and Summit obviously is never going to be an exception to that. And they have what Summit is essentially is like a vision for like this very unique tournament experience, and they try to bring in the best people for that. And honestly, like when that first started, obviously it was a little hot and cold on the Melee players being there versus like Tweak not being invited. I think what we're gonna see, I think Summit is truly, the impression they left on me was so positive and so strong. Like, I feel the people there working at Summit care so much about the Smash scene, just like video games and production in general, but Smash especially. I feel like a lot of the Summit people came from Smash, and I think they care a lot, and I think they took a lot of like the negative feedback very hard. Like, they took it personally because they're like, man, we just want to do the right thing for the Smash community, man. Like, that's what we love and that's what we want to do. Obviously, like, campaigning is always going to be painful. Like, I don't like campaigning, like, personally. Like, I think it's a stressful, really, really hard thing to put people through. But at the same time, like, we've been begging, as a Smash community, we've been begging for a big tournament with enormous prize pot pool, like with a lot of time and players getting extra shots on camera with all the top players, like content being made, different formats being played, all this stuff. Like, we ask for this stuff all the time, and then we pay for it and get it. Obviously, like, it sucks that not everyone can get their representative in. Trust me 100% on this. I was feeling really, really shitty when we didn't get somebody in. But it's just, that's the business model. I mean, if we want big prize pools and we want good production and we want skits and we want a venue that they can just play at all day and get better, like, we need to, someone's got to pay for it. And like, the business model they chose is a competitive one, but it's a business at the end of the day. They have people, they have salaries, they got to pay, they got to keep the lights on, they got to make money. Like, it's complicated, but I think overall, like, the impression I was left with after being around BTS staff all weekend and talking to them about it more and just kind of hearing back from them is that we're on the same team. You know what I mean? Like, they want to put on a good show. Obviously, they also, it'd be ignorant to say that they don't want to make a buck, of course, but they also use a lot of that money and put it right back directly into the show and into what we see there. They flew out all the commentators. They had provided food for all of us every day, shuttles back and forth all day, unlimited drinks, not alcoholic, but I mean, I guess technically like, they would cut you off at some point, obviously. They'd be safe about it, but like I meant like Monster and like, or like they had a stock fridge all weekend and like so many setups, and they let us stay really late, and they truly are Team Smash is how I feel. And I feel like the only reason that there's a breakdown there is because they can't just bring every top player there. Like, if they could house a summit that was 100 people, I think we'd have virtually no complaints. But also, if 100 people were guaranteed to get in, they'd have no money. So do you see like kind of like where the line is? You know what I'm saying? Like,
no matter what the scope.
So
what's that? I didn't hear. Sorry, I didn't hear Devin.
It always boils down to logistics, no matter what the scope is, So
for sure,
that is a big thing.
And not to mention, we get a lot of those tournaments where we get to see a lot of people. And Coop, I don't want to cut you off if you want to do something else at Summit, but I was going to say because we have that exact tournament coming up like this weekend where you can sort of get anyone you want in bracket and they can play, and it'll be a PGR tiered event.
That's the thing.
There was one question I want to ask Haz before we move on, if we are going to move on to collision stuff.
What's good?
Because you obviously got there via the way that 15 other people did via the $1,000 top shelf prize.
Correct.
Where you get to attend. So By the way, congratulations on 4th place at the Invitational tournament.
Thank you. Yeah, that was actually, dude, me and Kitaro, they fucked up not streaming our set. It was so good, dude. We seriously, like, after the set, he won the last hit, dude. We both choked last hit a couple times. It was so fun, dude. It was such a close set. They messed up. They should stream that shit.
So my question to you is, because, like, I saw a lot of people, you know, when the Summit Compendium first kind of came out, everybody was kind of just like giving like this. Have you ever seen that picture of like Squidward with the tanny thing in front of his face, and he has the sunglasses up, and he's like squinting his eyes, looking funny at it? Like, yeah. So a lot of people kind of made those like shifty eyes at it, being like, okay, this is kind of ridiculous. But like you answered a lot of those questions like for me. But like, I just wanted to ask you so you can say it like on a platform where people can see it for the rest of their lives. Did you regret spending the money that you did?
So okay, a couple of things there. Yeah, dude,
question.
that was a crazy thing. So when it initially came out, I was kind of skeptical, like $1,000, like that's like a ton of money, like all this stuff. It doesn't even. And I looked into it. I was like, man, it doesn't even cover this or that. So it didn't cover flight or hotel. Okay, so a little more on that. They gave us a discount code for a hotel. I split it with friend in the region, Fierce, and G-Pick, and we all spent like $80 total for a 3-day weekend in a hotel. That's it. So they $80 drop in the hat at that point, right? Or drop in the bucket at that point. Flight was fine, whatever. It was long. That was the worst part about it, but you know, it was a little more top. But so also, I didn't spend the full amount. I crowdfunded myself, which is I said I would match donations up until I was funded. So that was like, I was like, instead of just donating directly, just send me whatever you're going to donate. And yeah, at least we'll get something out of it, because a lot of people are just directly donating like whatever. So yeah, that made it a lot better for me. I don't know if anyone else thought to do that or not, but yeah, I definitely didn't. I definitely didn't spend the full amount. So like, that's really cool. So let me think here how to answer this question, because it's a tough one. I feel like randomly I was under fire on Twitter. I don't think anyone knew that I really bought it, but I saw a ton of people just like, damn, that's such a waste of money. I was like, damn,
Oh, man,
you guys,
come on.
you go to your anime conventions, you spend thousands of dollars. I know what you do. Like, don't get on your high horse now just because you want to go and you can't. The thing is, like, so all 15 of them sold out. So clearly the pricing is considered fair by enough people where it's sold out. You know what I'm saying?
Do you feel like you leveled up over the weekend?
Yes, big time.
So it's worth, man. Like you said, people spend money on all kinds of things. You got to see actually the first of what is otherwise a pretty unique event. We don't really see a lot of invitationals, especially not of this caliber. So yeah.
So the long and short of it is like, and they also took really good care of us. They weren't just like, thanks, sucker, and like just like let us fend for ourselves. They had a whole itinerary. They had a whole itinerary laid out for us. They had a bracket for us. They had, like I said, food and drinks all weekend. Like they really seriously, like my stomach hurt at one point on like Saturday, and I was like, can I please just get a shuttle back, like so I don't have to buy an Uber? They were like, of course. They drove me back. You know, I took some medicine, rested up, and I was like, all right, can you pick me back up? And they're like, yep, definitely, no problem. And they took care of me. Like,
nice.
You know what I mean? Like, it truly, like they're on our team is how I feel about Summit. Like, because that was definitely like a hypothesis I had going into it, is like they're kind of money hungry, like this and that, and I felt so foolish for feeling that way after I met. It's easy when you don't put faces with the actions. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, meeting all this, meeting all the staff there really made me believe in them a lot.
That's the biggest issue, and I guess we could move on, is the assumption where it's like, if there's a lot of money around an event, it must mean that there's some sort of greed or selfishness involved, and it's just not true. Honestly.
Absolutely.
Money's a byproduct of doing something you like and doing it well and having it be a value, and I guess we could sort of drop that off there.
Yeah.
But
so yeah, yes is my long and short answer, is that it was totally worth it. I made some, you know, a lot of good friends. I saw a lot of my really good friends, and we had actual time at an event to chill and hang out, because they didn't have to go from commentary to singles to doubles to commentary to, you know, back and forth. Like, we had actual time spending quality time with people, man. I don't know if you can really put a price tag on that. So
I just saw a post online that Billy McFarland and Ja Rule are starting their own summit. So I don't know if you guys are
Fire Summit.
Yeah, Fire Summit. They already promised me the sweet cheese sandwich. I don't know if you guys have seen the picture of it, but I'm it's looking pretty promising.
If you need to, just go to me and Koopa's DMs on Discord. It's the last thing I said to him. It's the SUMMYT Summit.
Oh man.
God! All right, let's
I'm
keep
pretty
going.
sure it is.
I think so. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. It was last I checked, so there you go.
Yeah, probably. Oh God! All right, so collisions this weekend. Speaking
Hell
of
yes.
cheese sandwiches, so
Back to business.
Yeah, who
Yes,
are we seeing from Summit at Collision?
let's
Nice
find
easy,
out.
Nairo.
nice easy transition. Yeah, Nairo, Light.
Nairo for sure. Nairo and Light, yeah.
Hold on, let me see here. I know, obviously, Tweak was not voting the Summit, but he will also be at Collision.
Cosmos.
Dude, Cosmos got. Dude, I'm telling you, like the Summit thing, everybody got so good, like so good, and I'm so excited to see what Cosmos in particular does because I watched him grind all weekend. Man, I think he's ready to go. Mr. R is playing? No way! Are you serious?
Yeah,
This was-
wow, that's crazy.
Mr. R?
Yo, and let me just remind you guys, this is now, it looks like 5 people away from being a B tier event. I know
Yeah.
registration's closed, but I wouldn't be surprised if we saw 5 more people.
You gotta sneak them in, man. There's
Yeah,
no point
exactly,
not to.
exactly. So,
Looking at this list, so you get like notable entries. So Tweak, DeBuzz, Nairo, Tamim, Cosmos, Mr. R, Rishi, or Rishi, like fishy. Mars,
Regular
because that's
Vino,
what he
everyone,
wrote in his Twitter bio. He's like, it's like fishy. I'm like, all right, remember that.
Nice.
in like my notes for the commentators.
Uh,
Like you know how I put the monitor for you guys? Like I literally write that out anytime he's playing.
My man.
we need that for Rydia too. 100%. He's one of those guys with a tag that's
Rydia?
impossible to read. Yeah, Rydia. Radea.
Not Redea, not Rydia.
Not Rydia, yeah.
Hey,
It's-
what?
It's his own damn fault, dude. He used to have it in his Twitter bio. I was like, dude, you gotta bring it back because I know him and I like him. I'm like, dude, I always forget how to pronounce your tag. Like, you're just the guy that plays Pikachu with the R name that I can't, pronounce. Like Radea. Yeah, you don't.
Rede?
I don't know.
for
But anyway, you got Mars. Yeah, dude, he's been called all these things like not as a
wild.
joke. Mars, Show You James, Rags, 6WX, Sinji. Yeah, man, the list goes on. Biddy,
Yeah,
Colonies is actually super good.
Yeah, and
Nico
and Zan. They're coming
Nico and
too.
Zan's gonna be. I really want to see how. I love Zan. I think he's an amazing
Daybreak.
player.
What the heck? Everybody's coming to this
The
fucking
heck?
event.
yeah. This is this is coming out
Damn it, guy.
kind of after
Sorry,
people
man.
have realized how strong of a region Tri-State is. Finally, like it's no longer a secret.
Yeah.
Like Tri-State's kind of been dominating anytime it goes anywhere, including Light getting himself in the Summit a couple weeks ago. So it's going to be interesting to see because
Wait,
we're
you just
naming
call
all.
Light Tar State? Hold on a second. I got a
What'd
problem.
Well,
What'd you say?
technically.
The heck?
God.
All right,
See ya.
neighboring of Tri-State, Northeast. Regardless, this whole Northeast.
In regards to business, technically Light is Tri-State because he lives in Connecticut. In
Yeah,
regards to
Take
business,
that.
It's not about
so-
business. It's just
No, it's
real
about-
life.
It's
What
about
the
the
hell?
fake. It's about the fake Smash boundary lines that have been drawn.
I think
It's also real life.
yeah. We all know
Dude, if you
Philly
look-
is its own
I
state.
legitimately
and also
linked to
part of Tri-State.
Wikipedia about this.
No,
Yeah, you
dead
know
ass,
what?
if
We're
we had a
doing
TA
this right
is
now.
a real
We're doing this
Tri-State.
right
I
now.
cannot
So
believe
We're doing this
this.
live.
Yeah, we're doing it live.
If we
Tri-State
had a TV tropes,
map.
if we had a
Oh
TV
my
tropes
God.
page,
Just look up
this would
Wikipedia
be our trope.
tri-states. Like they're New York, New Jersey, PA is a real tri-state because they touch. New York, New Jersey, Connecticut is a real tri-state because they touch. Actually, it's a metropolitan tri-state, so it's like mostly for like the city and stuff. So it's just like upstate New York, get the hell out of here, Canada. You don't count.
I don't know, man.
True facts.
hashtag quad state.
Odd streak.
Yeah, all right, fine. Fine, I'm not gonna argue this
feel like we
point.
talk-
I
feel
kind of
we
like
talk
to
about
now
this every
because
episode.
it's a
We
meme.
definitely talk
So
about
I
this
just
episode.
got to keep running with it.
I'm
But
telling you, man.
yeah, so collision looking extra stacked. And I'm just thinking about the last time we saw Collision was back in Smash 4, and that Collision resulted in a grand finals with
Nairo and Light.
yeah, Tri-State versus New England.
No, it sounds like a tri-state team kill to me.
There we go. Now we're talking.
I think Light's from New Jersey, actually. You guys should just have.
There we go. Yeah, we
No,
got
we
it.
Hey,
I have a
Hey, look at
message
us.
from Temper that he's just telling me that he's just like Light is tri-state. He's dead to me, and I'm like, yes, that's right. He is ours.
Dude, I
fun
can't
fact.
I can't look at the score display of Smash 4. I'm sorry. I'm just
Oh,
I want
God.
to hear the fun fact though.
No, I was gonna say this is I think the first Collision to not go by the numbered moniker, because this one was 15, I think.
Yes, that's correct.
It's smart to restart it. This is definitely not the first tournament I've seen rebrand as Ultimate Starts. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Overclocked is the other one I'm thinking of.
Yeah, because then the past Collision was a multi-year like regional thing, and now I think RJ's gone about the route of marketing it like as a more like once a year like serious tri-state event, because this gained a lot of traction quickly. Like obviously you see the people that are on the list. Like it's not every day you get the Midwest and Canada and all these people showing up to your event. Like this is a huge amalgamation for the Northeast, and it's going to be a lot of fun. And I can't watch this knockback. I'm gonna fucking throw up. Like,
it reminds me of that meme. Like, okay, I must go back to my people now, and then you just like,
look at that!
I killed him. Look at me. You're probably like, that was bullshit.
Yeah, look at these guys
I was hyped
commentating.
about ZSS, man. I love ZSS. Of course.
It's just
man.
There we are. Look at that, looking clean, dude.
Yeah, this tournament was pretty hype. I'm actually a lot more excited after just like peeping this VOD for a second about this.
I think that was that back when I was fat still? I think so. Probably.
I have no idea what you're talking about, man.
You always look.
Cut it out.
I have no idea what you're saying.
You look fantastic.
I've always seen you with
your vest
washboard
and
abs.
buttons.
You know
I'm
what?
not sure.
Here's like a storyline that I was gonna save it for the tournament, but New England showed up at the last collision. Kool-Aid beat Salem. Mars beat DeBuzz, I think, for the second time in his career. Was it the first?
I think that was the first time he ever beat him.
That's right. And Light, I think, did he reset Nairo?
No, he beat Nairo in winners.
So
Nairo had to reset him.
I'm saying, dude, we showed up is what I gotta say. Like big time. We showed up and made a splash. I wouldn't be surprised if the same thing didn't happen this time around.
The funny thing that you're mentioning this, I'm going to go run back to the left and comment of Smash 4 players being lazy. I sort of think that like this area was the area that wasn't really lazy at this point in the game, because this was also not the latest tournament in Smash 4 that we had, Collision 15, but people were definitely still trying hard here, because even like this is back when Wishes was still Justy and he was even entering.
Yep.
Yeah, because he was top 8 then, so it's interesting just to kind of see Collision as a series, which is going to just be an annual series now, kind of grow in that regard.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun, and like I think obviously because of the marketing it's gotten, this is without a doubt, I think like since we've been going by the whole seasons format, this is probably like in regards to the big picture of things, like the season finale, because in April is when things are going to get shaken up, because then you kind of get into the spring tournaments with Pound and other stuff coming up, as well as Joker getting thrown into the equation. So things are gonna be a lot different after this. So
yeah, we're definitely getting some sort of patch, whether or not there's like a lot of balance patches or any at all. We're definitely getting a new character and potentially a new stage. If it's, I don't think it'll be tournament viable, but I mean that's literally just a guess.
Yeah,
like who knows? It could be. It definitely could be.
Hashtag buff Zard.
Oh god, no.
Hashtag give Richter a jetpack.
Yeah, give
Do
Richter
it, cowards.
Give Richter 2 double jumps, dude. Then we'll talk. Because you can't increase his air mobility, because then he'll combo off of everything. So you gotta give it another jump, dude. I know it's
he wouldn't be.
Yo, and honestly, I just can't wait for this for Master Chief to come out in the first DLC pack.
I was thinking about that today when the Halo announcement went off. I was like, that's
makes you think, dude. It makes you think it's possible.
The thing that's funny is that there are going to be so many games released before all Smash DLC is done, and we're going to think that every single time a game is announced. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like it doesn't matter. Like every single game will be feeling that.
I'm just not going to take my tinfoil hat off at this point, because DMC5 is getting great reviews. Yeah, put Dante in the game.
Yeah,
dude,
hell yeah,
Dante in the game. It's
everyone's been saying
no, we're gonna. Oh, you want Dante?
Dante.
I don't know about that. I don't know what the joke is. I haven't played the new Resident Evil.
He just doesn't look as cool as he used to.
Oh, that's too bad. They could do like what they did with Ike and give him the 2 different
They could. That would be a very creative solution, and also very doable.
It's super doable, yeah.
Funny. That'd be really funny.
I wish I had an uncle at Nintendo. I'd tell him right now.
So what's Matt?
Are you a junior, dude?
Matt, are you a Halo guy? Do you like
Nah,
Halo?
you know, I liked Halo 1 a lot, and I played a ton of Halo 2. Like that was the reason I got Xbox Live when I went into GameStop and bought the card for $15 or whatever. You know, you guys remember that? You had to punch it
Yeah, of
in, like,
course.
cause I didn't have a credit card because I was like 12 or whatever. So I'd go in and just like punch in, like, yeah, I'd go to GameStop and buy my internet cards there. It was the first time I ever did that. The reason I did that was Halo 2. But I kind of dropped off after that. I played a little bit of Halo 3, but like Halo 2 is definitely the one I jumped into the most. But like this announcement happened, and I'm not gonna pretend like I'm crazy excited for it.
Yeah, I'm on the
It's
opposite
cool.
end, man. Like where like Halo on PC was actually because there was once a Halo PC edition, and it was very early in Halo's lifespan, and that was like the first game I ever really grinded out, and I could just sort of picture, even Smash tournaments in the future, like especially since we have like a facility with computers in New Jersey, like I could see Halo side brackets, lots of them. So we'll see. I think it's because the generation of people who are playing Smash definitely grew up with Halo, so it'll be
Yeah.
interesting. I'm actually very excited for it.
Another like another thing that like kind of pushes in the favor of Dante looking pretty good is I feel like Capcom has a really good relationship with Smash. Like really good. They gave like Mega Man's there and Ryu, and then obviously they added Ken as well. And they didn't skimp out on anything. Oh, and Guile too. So there's like a ton of Street Fighter music, a ton of remixes.
No, that's true, man. A
and
lot of Mega
stages,
Man
and
mixes were added to this game.
a
Ton.
huge Zero's in the game. Mega Man X has music in the game. Like Capcom, I feel like works very well with Smash. Unlike some companies that only put 2 goddamn songs for their
Ugh,
iconic
God.
flagship series into the entire.
Cough.
Disgusting, dude.
It's dumb, dude. I'm just getting on the hate wagon like so much with them. Like they've just pissed me off.
Use
So
the
much.
stream when the music comes on.
That's why Cloud got that young nerf. Well, not nerf, but just not buffs. They're like,
mean,
you know
there's-
what? We don't
yeah.
even want this character to be good.
Yeah, for every song they add, his neutral air hitbox gets smaller.
God.
Limit charge
Yeah, I don't
adds
know.
0.01 second.
But
That
I'm
would
saying
be
like
interesting.
Capcom's playing well with others. That's how I feel, dude. Like I feel like, or not with others, with Smash in particular. I feel like they've had a healthy relationship.
Well, people lining up to be friends with Nintendo now, and that line does include Microsoft, by the way. So
That is super true.
I
yeah.
really think there's that possibility because even technically like Minecraft, and I know I'm not going to bring up Minecraft Steve, even though I just did by saying I'm not going to bring him up. But like even like that
gotta go.
flagship, which
I'm
was which was like a Mojang like game, which is like an indie developer, like they bought like Microsoft bought that. Like there's a Switch version of that available. Like the point is, man, is like these developers, especially the big ones, they're on board. It's why I think we are seeing like Joker, which is like PlayStation exclusive. Like it's all coming to fruition. At least in
Please
my
give Joker
mind.
one of his taunts, the Persona summoning of P3, where he just shoots himself in the head. I really want that.
Yo, so
for the kids, yeah.
yeah, for the kids, they'd probably appreciate it. They would appreciate it, man. Those guys are
I want
grinding
to
out
see
Call
the
of Duty
whole
and
chat,
stuff. So.
right? Persona, Craig has
Yeah.
like, oh my god, this is what I want. This is what I live for.
Well, you only got like
Dude.
another month left.
Dude, it's crazy, man. Like once Cloud became a character in Smash, the limiters were removed. Like they were just done. Like anybody,
The limit was
I'm
broken?
so you could tell me, dude. Like you could tell me LeBron James from NBA 2K is gonna be in, and I'd be like, honestly, like I could see it. Like it's possible, right? Anything's possible at this point. Like that's why when people are like Sans is impossible, I'm like, why? Like there's no reason. Like that's not impossible. Maybe it's silly, of course, like whatever. But also like you could also draw conspiracy theory lines from any character to being in Smash, and then also back it up with the statement of, well, Cloud made it in Smash, and they got Snake back as well. Like that's another one where it's like, like what the hell? Like he's not even in games right now. How do they do
Yeah.
And he's dummy thick.
that? Jesus Christ, dude. That's also true. They had to fit him into the tiny cartridge, and you know.
And tell me you couldn't picture like Master Chief, like you get Snake to play in this game, dude. You could definitely get Master Chief to play in this game. You
I
could almost
agree,
have like a
dude,
similar
totally.
Echo Fighter, man, between like the rocket
100%.
launcher and like.
He
jeez.
actually might fit that kit
Bonding.
better than Snake.
Oh,
with all
dude,
the
for
explosives.
sure. The
like,
grenades and stuff, like the different
Mhm.
guns that he has access to.
Oh,
Like, let's get it.
Stickies
This-
instead of the regular grenades,
Ironically,
Oh yeah.
ironically,
dude.
I think it would be hilarious if they added Master Chief as an echo to Snake.
though. As an
Like,
echo to
it's
Mine- as an echo to Minecraft, Steve.
Hilarious. Did you ever
Oh,
get
God.
slapped in the face by a company? I think we just did.
Yeah. Jeez, I mean, it kind of makes me think because like they said that Joker will be out before the end of April, but like, do you think they're gonna have like we're gonna see like an announcement at like the end of the month for something like before
Probably.
April ends? Like I don't know.
Probably.
Because I'm curious. I don't think they're gonna do anything like super crazy because obviously like it's kind of around the time of E3, so I feel like they're saving a lot of the bigger bullets for that. So I'm really curious about how much they're gonna show after they reveal Joker.
They'll probably give us something that is underwhelming to lower our, expectations, and then E3 is like, whoa, my eyes.
When is E3?
Is it June?
June, yeah,
It's-
early
yeah,
June.
Yeah, it's like the second weekend of June usually.
Oh, almost there.
June 11th.
That's actually a lot sooner than it sounds.
Yeah, dude. Like, it seems like only yesterday that like we were waiting for the game to come out, and then now it's like fucking
Exactly.
March, and
Yep.
I can't
and fucking
believe it.
Captain.
Yeah.
Dude, the Avengers Endgame comes out in like fucking like 6
Next
weeks.
month.
Or
Oh
something
my
like that.
god, yeah.
Dude, but Us comes out in like 2 weeks, so nobody cares until that's over. Everyone be quiet until Us is done, and then I'm done, dude. I entered like 3 radio contests today to try to win early screeners to Us today. That's like seriously what I spent some of my time doing, like my lunch break.
Yeah,
I respect
my contribution to the film industry is that I saw Captain Marvel over the weekend, and I really liked it.
Nice.
I saw Captain Marvel on my way home from Legacy over the weekend. Literally caught like a 1 a.m. viewing, and then daylight savings happens, and you're like, that movie wasn't 3 hours long. What happened?
Yeah, the
Why
actual
is it
fever
4 a.m.?
sweats.
Please don't put Captain Marvel footage on screen, Chris. I do not want the channel to get nuked.
Yeah, I made that mistake pretty much any time I've played like a Nintendo trailer. Literally every time. Frame one
see-
notice.
Yeah. Go see Captain Marvel. It was good. Maybe we'll put Wolverine in Smash.
I haven't seen it
promotion.
yet. Will you see
Super
it?
cute.
Will you see it with me
But
this
they're
weekend
like-
again?
Yeah, let's do it.
Alright, cool.
I'm
Thanks.
done.
Tight. So, speaking of like new games coming out and like there is a new Mortal Kombat coming out, what do you guys think about Sub-Zero or someone like that in Smash? You probably have to
Scorpion,
be,
baby.
dude. So here's the thing about Scorpion. I don't know how you could really impale someone with a dagger on a spear and not have it look really
So,
bad every time.
You hit him in the chest, no blood comes out, and he pulls it. They did it on Super Nintendo, dude. They just replaced the blood with sweat.
All
You just have to
right.
you just have to impale it with them, dude. Someone else said the same thing. They're like, it's probably gonna be Sub-Zero because he's way easier to implement and he's not as violent. Like
There's already ice in the game, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Like I agree, and like he could freeze the ground. Like his moves, I fucking put both of them in there, dude. I love both of them so much.
Actually,
Like,
yeah, dude. Those were the original Echo characters. All those ninjas. How many ninjas were there? There was at
well,
least
Ken
like
and
8
Ryu.
of them.
Hold up. Ken and Ryu first. Hold on. Mario and Luigi. Then Ken and Ryu.
All right, I'm sorry. I meant like all right, fine. Like
Hold
fighting
on,
game,
hold
and you're right. There's Mario and Luigi, but do you remember like there's literally 10 ninjas in Mortal Kombat?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
You want me to name them all? I can do it for you, man.
No.
In order: Scorpion, Sub-Zero, Reptile. Then you got it. 3 gets weird, man, because they replaced the ninjas with the robots.
Do you
Okay.
get it? Yeah, Cyrax.
Cyrax, Smoke, and Sector.
Yes.
They all became. They were all ninjas though at one point. So in my book they count. Then you get the funky ninjas in there like Noob Saibot,
Think about how easy the.
Rain. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Rain, dude. Yeah, he was the red one.
too.
Oh no, Ermac was the red one.
was red.
Yeah,
No, Purple Rain.
Rain was
obviously.
purple. Yes.
Purple Rain. Yeah, that's real. It's a real reference. So yeah, man.
That's crazy.
I'm a huge Mortal Kombat fan. So I'd be very. That's the last. Like I don't have a wish list really anymore since Cloud made it in. So like I don't know.
Are you
Like,
excited for the Mortal Kombat Summit?
yes, I'm very excited for Mortal Kombat Summit. I'm gonna watch a ton of it. So
I have a PS4 for the first time in my life, so I can actually play Mortal Kombat when it comes.
it's gonna be on the Switch. So I don't know what you're talking about.
Fuck, you're right.
I was watching the summit with Sage, and when they announced it, the Mortal Kombat Summit, he was just like, "Wow, that's just gonna be a lot of Sonic screaming."
Yeah. Yep. And I think too a cool thing about this summit too is I feel like summits for new games are always the most fun too. Like I love melee summits, but you know the characters everyone's gonna play and like all that stuff. Like so a new game, especially with new players we didn't see a whole lot of, which was another value of the melee players being there. Like who knew how Armada was gonna do? You know what I'm saying? Like zero idea. It could have been, you know, I don't think he was gonna win the tournament per se, or he's a very long shot to win the tournament. But like, did you think he was gonna be Zero? He was definitely not the favorite to win that.
No, not at
So
all.
so not only the unexpected results you get, but you get like new play styles kind of. And that was a cool thing too, is like seeing their play styles were like crazy. Oh god, the reptile hints were so great, so good. But
This
you
game
see,
hasn't
like,
aged at all. Looks
so
great.
Koopa kind of gave me a shout out for getting fourth in the VIP tournament bracket. I only lost to Kitaro, and I lost a full stream too, and he was a really interesting player to play because he didn't play like a Smash player because he's a Rivals guy.
Oh,
He's
weird.
he won Genesis 5, 6, Genesis
Yeah.
5 maybe, Rivals, man. And the way he played the game, usually I have a pretty good read on people. I can move around well. Like I've been playing Smash forever. I can like figure shit out. Like even if you're beating my ass, I'll at least acknowledge what you're doing and try to work around it. With him, I was just like, why is he doing that? And it was good options. Like it was like a weird but good and successful way he played the game, and he beat me. So I was like, it was just cool to see that, plus the melee style differences, and truly a lot of it was more successful edge guarding. And I think that's why Armada likes Inkling so much. Like not only does it have like a funky moving pattern, but Inkling can go deep, dude, in this game, like so far off stage, like so far off stage. So I think, I don't know, it reminded me of his Peach, honestly. Like it reminded me of his Peach, the way he edge guarded and stuff. It was crazy.
Dude, did full stream like block at all?
less than the average Smash player. 100%.
I would imagine, dude, because he
Less
has
than the
literally never had access to it before.
He was good at parrying too, obviously. I don't think he was like, the best I've ever seen, but he definitely had above average parrying for sure when we played.
That's interesting because
It was more his movement and his decision making. I thought that was more interesting than anything else because he's fucking nasty, dude. Like he impressed me a lot, and definitely like we've heard a lot. It's kind of like how everyone keeps saying Ryu's gonna come back and be a top tier, which I also doubt. But like, that
So-
probably
God,
never
I hope
happened. I hate to tell you, as the highest place in Ken at Frostbite, let me tell you something. That's facts. That's facts. You can check it.
and you dropped out of singles, which is
And
hilarious.
I did, dude. I was playing so well that day. I'm so bummed I had to drop out, but I didn't have to, I guess, but I wanted to. But anyway, yeah. But it's like everyone's been saying these Rivals players, trust me, they're going to be nasty, they're going to be good. And I was like, I don't know, I'll believe it when I see it. Like same with Melee players, they got to earn it. Then full stream, not that I didn't think it could happen, but I didn't think it would happen so fast. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't think full stream would be as good as he is as when I played him at Summit. He also grinded his ass off at Summit. He played a ton. Like a ton. And the cool thing was everyone wanted to play against him because he played Inkling, and everyone had to get ready to fight Cosmos and Armada. So I was like, fuck, I should have played a good character. No one's like, I need Ken practice, I need Richter practice. Those characters suck. Everyone just beats them. It's not hard. So I was just like in the corner, like, anyone want to play? Like, anyone wanna play? A lot of them, honestly,
friendlies.
a lot of the top players did play with me though, which was really cool. Some of them said, no, I want to focus on bracket. I'm like, I don't understand. There's only $50,000 on the line. Why won't you play some friendlies with me? I don't get it. But like a lot of them were very nice and played, and we talked about the game and stuff. So it was cool, man. So that was like another benefit. But yeah,
I'll play friendlies with you, Matt.
thank you. I appreciate that. I was definitely bottom of the totem pole though. Obviously, like I play weird characters, and I wasn't like a top player, and they're all top players there. Why would you play against someone who's not one of those?
Mood.
But they did. It was nice.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
I
that was
can't.
awesome.
Yeah, I just think like being surrounded, like you kind of just probably learn through osmosis on some end, being around that many people and just sort of seeing all the things you get to see over the weekend. But
It's amazing.
yeah, it's pretty cool. So
I was gonna say, as you can see from that shot right there, you had Charles playing against Hekaru. Definitely not two invited players in the bracket playing against each other, but we still all played each other. Like that's the Family Feud skit. Oh my god,
That
dude.
was my favorite skit.
It was a train wreck, but it was
Oh
so
my
hilarious.
Dude, I love Family Feud. Like in real life, like I watched that with I think I went on a family vacation like 4 years ago, and all me and my brother did was watch like 6 consecutive hours of Family Feud.
Yeah.
And
it's a pretty solid show, dude. And honestly, Steve Harvey's he's good. Like he's a good host, so
yeah,
makes it
without a
easy.
doubt. And that was a great role for EE too. He made a fantastic.
He was
host
the
for that.
only choice for that. Yeah, that was it. Like it was gonna be EE.
So
Anyway, sorry, we kind of got.
No sweat,
Yeah,
man.
that's
That
pretty
was the
much-
whole idea. But yeah, that wraps it up, right, Koopa?
yeah, that pretty much covers everything. So we want to do a thing. So let's do something different this week.
What
So
are you
let's-
thinking?
So we got Collision on the horizon. How about we go around and we give our predictions for who we think's gonna win, and who's the dark horse you should probably be watching out for.
I kind of refuse to participate on the fact that pools are not released yet. so I can't look at matchups. I can't do
Oh.
my analysis. This is bullshit. This is just guesswork voodoo. But I will play. I will play. Let me see.
Insert video of K9 saying this is horse shit walking out of the room.
Jump! I jumped! I fucking jumped!
This is horse shit.
Horse shit!
All right, I'll
Is the seating here somewhere? Like, is it possible to get a list of like?
I'm
the
not
seating?
sure if the seating's done yet. I'm gonna look real quick to see if there's anything
Being done
there.
like tonight.
Yeah, I think it is.
Like there was some preliminary seating, and there's like a little bit more for like tonight and tomorrow or something.
Okay. I'm looking now. Okay, I'm getting some shit together.
I mean, I would say the popular choices are gonna include the likes of like Tweak, DeBuzz, Nairo, obviously. I'm gonna throw James in because he's a homie.
Yes,
and
he's a good choice.
And I actually think he
Yes.
does have a legitimate shot.
Dude, absolutely. He should have. But he was very close to top 8 Frostbite. Very close.
Yeah,
Dude,
he
in
was-
his set, yeah,
he was there.
He's amazing. He was in it.
Yeah, he's in it, dude. Because I think on a different day he beats Nairo, but maybe this will be that day. You never know. That's why they play the game, you know.
It's funny how they end up playing like a fairly decent. It's just kind of a testament to how nasty Tri-State is. That I felt like the last couple of majors I watched and really paid attention to, they are either on like a collision course, no pun intended, or like they played a fucking SmashCon when Nairo went on his run, which is crazy.
Yeah,
Like
James is stressed that like even at the end of Smash 4 that like this he wishes that he like would do better at events because he would always be seeded to play like the same 3 people at majors. It would be like some combination of Salem, DeBuzz, and Nairo if he like wins.
Yeah.
Like he always ends up getting the shit end of the stick when it came to like fighting different players. Because it would have been I would have loved to see like James's Diddy Kong against like the top sheiks. Like that's something we unfortunately never got.
Yeah,
really
we never got to see that.
But yeah, I'd say James is a safe pick just because like James.
We're in New Jersey, man. He runs it around here.
Yeah, he's found his fire again, and it James is you can't really count him out, especially because Crom is still kind of an enigma.
I don't think that character's an enigma. I think he's busted. I think he's so.
I think he's busted. I just don't think a lot of people are playing him at the level that James is.
Is Great Gonzalez going this weekend?
Dude, he's going, and he's been on a bit of a
go.
streak. And Wishes, obviously, that's another one because he actually goes toe to toe with James, even now. So
Not surprising. Yeah. They're both nasty.
My sleeper pick, because I expect Justin and Gons to do well.
Who is
to
Justin?
defend the house.
that's Wishes.
That's Wishes something. Yeah, that's he has like so many names. I refuse to call him any of them. He is Vivid Kono for the rest of his life.
I think he's Wishes because he was a 2-week player that destroyed Nairo, and that's what everyone knew him as. So
Yeah, that's true.
that's what I always think of. He's
Beat
Wishes.
Zero on stream, beat Nairo
He's a
on
2-weeker,
stream.
yeah. Smoked them all.
Cheated
like, wow,
and got the
that's
game
weird.
early. Like,
Yeah.
He's like parrying and shit. Like, no, I just downloaded it, man. Like,
Yeah, Jackal someone I think could do well, but he's kind of like in between characters right now. So like
Bowser going?
yes, he's who I was.
oh
gonna
yeah,
say.
dude, Leon.
Leon is.
Leon, yeah.
So
Okay.
okay, let me paint the picture for you. So
Yeah,
Leon is the lore of Leon was he was a local kid, was kind of like a bottom of the barrel kid for like literally the first like 3.5 years of Smash 4, and then like turned it on and started playing really well. Like he was beating Gons at locals. His problem was that he wasn't like really able to get to bigger events, but now that Ultimate's out, he's starting to travel to like the monthlies and stuff like that. And I think I'm not going on a limb by saying this. He definitely has the makings for top 5 in the state right now.
Dude, easy. I think he's already guaranteed.
Yeah, like he's easily like a top 5 player like in the state.
He won a
He's
Forge.
really good.
He's gotten, I think, second out of Platinum Star. He's the only person, fun fact, to take a game off of DeBuzz in the last Platinum Star.
That's true, he did.
DeBuzz, didn't drop a single game except for against Leon.
Yeah, it's Leon's biggest thing is that like he plays Bowser. Like that character still like has a lot of fucking issues. So like I hope Leon finds a DLC character that is like a Turtle-esque like Bowser, so that way he can like prosper and be the great player that I think he has the potential to be. So if he beats somebody like good this weekend, you don't color me surprised. So
Yeah, I'm actually kind of looking forward to when that happens because I think that's a pretty distinct possibility. Running into a Bowser in bracket when you don't really like play against Bowser, especially one of Leon's caliber, like people will see.
God. No thanks.
Yeah, he's consistent, and that's
scary.
all you need to know. He's a consistent Bowser that's constantly winning. So
Nice.
spooky.
So Nice. So I kind of came up with a quick list. I don't know if Coop is done, but I came up
yeah,
with a quick
I'm
list
done.
of
Yeah,
people to
I'm done.
watch. So kind of starting off with like, I think like two very interesting people to watch are the Yoshi's going, Suarez and Raptor. Suarez obviously had a pretty damn good showing at Frostbite. Him and Light had maybe my favorite set of Frostbite going on, so I'd like to see him. He beat Cosmos back at Let's Make Moves. So I think Suarez obviously is a player that can come up with a lot of good results and definitely cause some upsets at the top end. Raptor obviously the same too. He's been a Yoshi since Brawl, so he definitely definitely has some experience with the character that is now maybe the best iteration we've ever seen of that character. So that's gonna be a good one. I put down also Utopian Ray. I always like to watch Ray. I think he always has the potential to have a breakthrough run. Am I on right here? Am I good?
Yeah.
No, it's like okay,
Yeah.
cool.
He won a Xeno recently, so he's kind of his stock's pretty high right now.
Yep.
Good for him.
On that note,
CFL,
too,
baby.
I would say CFL baby, and I would say what the heck? I would say Frozen.
Mute him now.
I'm telling you, dude, it's fun. I'm telling you, it's fun. Like I promise you, it's fun. It sucks, but it's so funny, dude. Like I don't know, I can't explain it. It's so funny.
Yo, you can't leave out your boy Light, dude, because I actually think Light has a very legitimate.
Oh, these are like interesting, like
like kind of sleeper sort of.
Exactly, like keep your eye on these guys,
totally.
Sort of thing. Yeah, I think Light and Mars obviously top 8. Like, of course, like if I didn't say that, I'd be such a fraud, and I truly believe it too. Obviously, like they have a really good chance. Obviously,
they've proven themselves, especially in this area. So I don't think that's outlandish in the least.
At this tournament too. Like,
at this tournament, dude.
Yeah.
Back in Smash 4 and even recent.
Yep. I got, let's see, Daybreak. Obviously, I think Koopa mentioned him as well, but he could definitely cause some upsets. I think like these are people that by the end of it, like newer people seem to be like, who the hell is Daybreak? Who the hell is Raptor? You know what I mean? Like these are people. Blazing Pasta's on my list as always. I think Pasta's so sick. You guys know that though, of course.
Oh
yes,
yeah, dude.
absolutely.
And then my sleeper pick for top 8 is Nico. I don't know if that's even a sleeper pick for top 8 because honestly, I feel like I'd be surprised if he didn't make top 8. Again, I don't have the brackets in front of me. Like, I might be saying that, and his path to top 8 is beating Light and Mars, and I look like a dick. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just telling you right now, the brackets aren't out right now, but Nico and Mr. R. Mr. R played so well at Nimbus, dude. Like, so that's like the type of Crom play I want to see. But he's also going to be playing in Jersey, where James has been running Terra for a long time. So a lot of people, know the matchup and have played against the top level.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see how Ramen kind of adjusts there. And I always want to see how he does, man, because he's like a huge mystery because he couldn't play at Frostbite. And that's really where I was like, damn, I'm so excited to see Mr. R finally play. And then he had some medical stuff, I think, happen, or he had to drop out for whatever reason. But I was like, holy shit, I want to watch him play so bad. Then we got a taste of it at Nimbus. And I think, again, obviously, coming into Collision, I really want to see what Mr. R can do.
I'm really glad you brought up the fact that everybody here gets their shit kicked in by James.
He's terrorizing
that was
everyone,
because that was a big driving force to why like everybody in New Jersey was so good against Diddy Kong.
Yes.
Because like James would just like constantly kick our shit in with Diddy Kong like week after week, and then like you play any other Diddy Kong, like even like the better like out of region Diddy Kongs didn't really like do that well. Like when they'd have to play someone from Jersey or when they'd come to Jersey. So it's going to be interesting to see how that trickle down effect works again in regards to with Crom, because like I said, that character, as good as he is still like very seldomly used. But I don't know. I'm also gonna look at like people like Kells and Six, because I think if Sonic in the right hands, I feel like can get the job done. But you just have to work so much harder with that character to get anything like beneficial out of it. It's just not worth it.
Listening to your friend talk about Sonic and Ultimate is like listening to like a conspiracy theorist. Like, all right, man, yeah, it's definitely possible. Like, yeah, for sure, dude. Like, you got it, man.
Are you calling me a flat earther?
No, man, no. You're good. Sonic is definitely a great character, dude.
You can find a new place to stay this weekend.
Dude, come on. I'm broke after Summit. You know that. You can't do that. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. That's a joke.
All right. Joke. Devin, you got anybody?
Tweet.
All right.
Tweet's a safe bet.
Not really my thing.
I stole a lot of good, I think, obvious sleeper picks. Like, obvious probably to the people in this room, to be honest with you. Like, Blazing Posse.
I was literally looking up the same thing.
Yeah.
Looking up the same thing. I was going to post it.
The conspiracy theory thing?
Yes,
yeah,
Charlie.
Dude, yeah.
That's Sonic.
Yeah, that's a... Yeah,
I actually do think he's an okay character, but, like, I don't know. I feel like it's not a coincidence.
Yeah, it's weird.
that you're saying Sonic, and you also play Sonic, and I do appreciate those guys as players too. Six also plays Incineroar, which is interesting because that's maybe the exact opposite of Sonic.
See ya.
See ya. I told you, man, it's fun. You already got it.
Yeah,
let's do it. I've drank the Kool-Aid.
Let's do it again sometimes.
Yeah,
I'm so glad that you just said that.
I know.
I literally just made this. Just hold on. Yeah, click this.
All right, hold up. Yeah, I'll get it now.
Oh no.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Hang on.
I'm excited.
Yeah, it'll pop up for you guys any second now. It says Sonic mains drink the Kool-Aid, and it's always sunny font.
That's
wow.
very good.
I want that as like my next back tattoo. Next to, right after Shuton dive kicking off the Pikmin.
Just make it your banner picture on Twitter.
I actually might have to do that.
You just screen cap this right now.
Yeah, I'll get on that later. But anyway, I think we're nearing the end of the
Yeah,
podcast
we've hit
so.
that time now. Actually,
So let's do
yeah, I think
Service announcement for anyone watching, and you are going to Collision this weekend. Update your goddamn Smash GG.
yeah, actually that's
camera's
kind of
life
important. That's kind of important because it affects the overlay in terms of having accurate Twitters and stuff. So it is a good PSA.
That's a good one, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Desync your pro controllers. Be nice to your pool captains, and I don't want to tell you to put deodorant on because you should know.
I was just gonna say
doing
bring
that already.
deodorant cap.
Yeah, no, do it.
Sync
Yeah,
your
that's
pro
fine.
controllers to your cell phone. Yes, you can do that if you have an Android.
I
Sync
didn't
your
know
pro
that.
sync
it's
your
cool.
pro controllers to your deodorant.
Yeah, leave your pro controllers at home and
that,
use a
yeah.
GameCube controller like a real goddamn human being. That doesn't ruin everything. I'm
Got it.
passionate about this one, dude. I hate pro controllers.
That's
Great.
That's like I want to call it a hot take just because I think the pro controllers like saved so many hands that were
It's an amazing controller, but if one more dumbass with a pro controller ruins a set on stream, I'm gonna lose it, dude.
so-
Like I'm
So
gonna lose it.
I have like there is a tech if like at least for the start of a set. So if someone has a pro controller hooked up and like it's still on and you can't get rid of their
Power
like
cycle the Switch.
Yep, you just turn off the switch and turn it back on. Problem solved.
Yeah, that's great. You know, that literally never happens with the GameCube controller. So, and the fact that they're popping open the menus and stuff live on stream matches between like top player, like anybody. I don't care who it's between, but the fact, like, what the hell, man? I feel like there needs to be some rules where like, you can plug them in, but there's more lag, is what I heard. Is that a thing?
So I actually did hear that.
I
Yeah,
really hate that argument.
corded controllers
I hate
have
that
a
argument
too. But it's a shit
Somehow.
controller.
No, I hate that argument because it's just like no, it's not even that. It's like when you say the phrase more lag, you're actually just like completely ignoring the fact of how much more lag it is and how much we're human beings and this is such a negligible amount that no one would actually give a damn. And if anyone thinks for a moment that it would ever at any point draw a difference between one frame, you're wrong. You're just wrong. All right.
That's what I'm
So
saying.
I'm tired of this. I'm tired of this, man.
The rule definitely should be no connecting them wirelessly. You just connect them like everybody else does. Like, I
you
don't
do
know
realize
what to
like
tell you.
the difference between these things are like a few milliseconds. It's like, you know how many milliseconds is one frame at a 60 FPS game? Freaking like 15. So
Yeah.
it's like 1/15 of a frame. I don't want to hear it, man.
I love the controller. I think it's a great controller. I actually almost switched. This is almost the only time I've ever considered switching to a different controller. But then I have too many cool GameCube controllers, and I just love them. I love the controller too much. It's too familiar. It's
Still
too much.
play on CRTs.
Yeah,
Let's do that.
Watch us
Yeah,
next
please.
week as we discuss the consequences to pro controller users when they forget to desync their controllers moving
That's
forward.
my thing. Is like I don't want to punish a whole group of people, but like you can't figure out who did that. You know what I mean? I wish it like popped up like whose controller it was, because then you
It's
could
a
just
big
punish.
siren.
It's
'cause
like
you can just punish individuals. Then I don't care.
it's like in grade school, like if someone like were to like take a dump in the urinal and they do it like on a regular basis and you just can't quite figure out who it is.
That's exactly.
That's the whole
Sorry,
premise of
they-
a South
they
Park
dissect
episode.
that.
Just made me think about it.
That's an amazing metaphor.
That
Because
really
they're
is.
literally taking a dump where they shouldn't. Metaphorically.
God.
I'm gonna fucking pee my pants. Oh my god. Alright.
I hate
All
that
right.
shit, dude.
Anyway.
Anyway,
Speaking of hating that shit, if you guys want to see me shit my pants and laugh this weekend, well, you can follow, since we have we have that podcast audience on SoundCloud.
Yes.
So if you guys want to check us out on SoundCloud, please make sure to do that. You guys are great. We are going strong over there. But you can follow me on Twitter at KoopaNJ. I will be commentating at Collision this weekend. So if you want to get updated to see the new sweaters I got on deck, make sure you guys tune in to that.
Let's go.
Yeah, and then you can find. I'll go because we're gonna save the best for last today.
Right.
So yeah, we do have. I just want to screenshot this SoundCloud landing page we have. Very easy to find. SoundCloud.com/MHGGo. All the episodes are posted there. It is actually, it's getting okay traction. Growing a SoundCloud's hard, but anyways, you could find me also on Twitter at CSantosZX, and then I'm gonna turn it over to you guys to do your Twitter plugs.
Click the next link I put in, but maybe you want to review it first.
All right, hold up.
I have a bad feeling about this.
No, this isn't
at
bad.
73,000 or more or more preferably at House of 3000. Really, all the information you need to know is there. We're gonna be streaming like every weekend. We're gonna be at Forge. It's gonna be cool.
Yeah, it is gonna be cool. We speaking of which, we got to advertise the Forge. Go to the Forge. It's a monthly. It's the last one. Come out.
Yeah, it's the last one of the season.
Of the season, yeah.
Definitely come to that. One. Yeah. So there's we got Collision, you got the Forge, you got Bum's Birthday Bash, and then you got Suplex City / Tri-State Circuit Regional
Can't wait
Championship.
for that one.
Dude, Tri-State Circuit.
Hella sick.
FYI, Tri-State Circuit doing Swiss bracket. For anyone wondering.
Yep.
Smart.
For all the people who qualify, there's gonna be Swiss, so there's gonna be hella matches, and it's gonna be great. So definitely do that. Yeah, subscribe to Master Hand Gaming on YouTube. Just don't ask why, just do it.
Yeah, you got it.
We'll tell you why when you're older.
Yeah, in another month, I'll explain.
Where did you learn to subscribe? I learned it from you. Okay, just subscribe to YouTube. God damn it.
Thanks, Dad.
Yeah.
All right, Haz, close us out, man.
All right, I'll bring it on home. So, one final note is I just want to say Summit was super, super sick. I'm very happy I went. I got to experience it, meet the people there, put a face to the name, you know what I'm saying? And really, they earned my trust personally. Really like them all, and shout outs to them for doing something very unique and special for our scene. And it was cool. The Melee guys were there too. That's all I gotta say, just so I'm crystal clear on that. But you can give me a follow. Twitter, it's at Hazmatt Rules. Twitch, it's Hazmatt Live. I'm always up to some dumb shit, so I'll be commentating with Koopa. As closes it off, oh boy. I had a joke, but we'll let it go. And
I love it.
Yeah, man. But yeah, that's about it. I guess we'll be seeing you.
Yeah, man.
He said it.
Yeah, he said it. He said it. Now we got to end. All right, thanks, guys. Thanks for watching.
Peace out.
Adeuces.
See ya.
Talk to you next week.
See ya. We'll be seeing ya.